Study Section 8. Neonatal Development. Here is a growing baby having spent less than 21 days. Neonatal development, a time between birthday and a month. Introduction. The first 5 years of life are a time of incredible growth and learning for a child. An understanding of the rapid changes in a child's developmental status prepares parents and caregivers to give active and purposeful attention to the preschool years and to guide and promote early learning that will serve as the foundation for later learning. Understanding child development is an important part of teaching young children. A newborn is an infant who is only hours, days, or up to a few weeks old. In medical context, newborn or neonate, from Latin neonatus, newborn, refers to an infant in the first 28 days after birth. The term applies to premature infants, postmature infants, and full-term infants. Before birth, the term fetus is used. Furthermore, during this study, you should be learning about neonatal development. Learning outcomes for Study Section 8. At the end of this study section, you should be able to 1. Discuss neonatal reflexes. 2. Discuss motor development. 3. Discuss perception. Developmental milestones in neonatal perceptions. Developmental change is a basic fact of human existence, and each person is developmentally unique. Although there are universally accepted assumptions or principles of human development, no two children are alike. Children differ in physical, cognitive, social, and emotional growth patterns. They also differ in the ways they interact with and respond to their environment, as well as play, affection, and other factors. You may even discover that some children are easier to manage than others. A good understanding of the sequence of development prepares us to help and give attention to all of these children. Physical development refers to physical changes in the body and involves changes in bone thickness, size, weight, gross motor, fine motor, vision, hearing, and perceptual development. Growth is rapid during the first 2 years of life. The child's size, shape, senses, and organs undergo some obvious change. As each physical change occurs, the child gains new abilities. During the first year, physical development mainly involves the infant coordinating motor skills. The infant repeats motor actions which serve to build physical strength and motor coordination. Physical development takes place quickly in the lives of children. The infant who was once immobile turns into the toddler who seems to be always on the move. Children differ in how quickly they develop large motor skills. This development occurs in stages, each one building upon the previous ones. The rate of this development is less important than the sequence. An environment that encourages physical development through exploration is important for children of all ages. Children need to visit a doctor regularly because the doctor will monitor their growth and development. Parents who have concerns about their children's development should consult with a doctor. 1. First year. Birth 2 months. Babies focus on your face when you talk. Arm and leg movements appear to be uncoordinated. Weak neck muscles mean that babies cannot control their head movements. 3 to 4 months. Babies begin to develop head control and can lift their chest when placed on their stomachs. While you should let your baby have some supervised playtime on her stomach, always place your child on her back to sleep. 4 to 5 months. Babies roll from side to back and up from back to side. 6 to 7 months. Babies can turn completely over, front to back and or back to front. 7 months. Babies can pull themselves up to stand, but they may have trouble sitting down again. 7 to 8 months, babies can sit up steadily with the support of their arms. 8 to 10 months, babies can creep on their stomachs or begin to crawl on their hands and knees. Some babies do not learn to crawl until after they learn to stand. 9 to 11 months, babies can walk when led by the hands or cruise holding onto furniture. 12 to 15 months, babies can stand without holding onto anything and begin walking. 2. 1 to 3 years. 18 months. Toddlers are walking well, both forward and backwards. They can creep down stairs and get on and off a low chair. They can throw a ball without losing balance. 24 months. Children are able to run and climb. 36 months. Children are refining large motor skills. They can alternate feet while climbing stairs, ride a tricycle, jump and balance on one foot. They can throw a ball overhand. 48 to 60 months. Children can hop, skin, run, play with a ball and climb. 1. Reflexes. Infants at birth have reflexes as their sole physical ability. A reflex is an automatic body response to a stimulus that is involuntary, that is, the person has no control over this response. Blinking is a reflex which continues throughout life. There are other reflexes which occur in infancy and also disappear a few weeks or months after birth. The presence of reflexes at birth is an indication of normal brain and nerve development. When normal reflexes are not present, or if the reflexes continue beyond the time they should disappear, brain or nerve damage should be suspected. Some reflexes, such as the rooting and sucking reflexes, are needed for survival. The rooting reflex causes infants to turn their heads towards anything that brushes their faces. This survival reflex helps them to find food such as a nipple. When an object is near a healthy infant's lips, the infant will begin sucking immediately. This reflex also helps the child get food. This reflex usually disappears by 3 weeks of age. The Moro reflex or startle response occurs when a newborn is startled by a noise or sudden movement. When startled, the infant reacts by flinging the arms and legs outwards and extending their head. The infant then cries loudly, drawing the arms together. This reflex peaks during the first month and usually disappears after 2 months. The baby scale reflex is present in normal babies of full-term birth. When the sole of the infant's foot is stroked on the outside from the heel to the toes, the infant's toes fan out and curl and the foot twists in. This reflex usually lasts for the first year after birth. The stepping or walking reflex can also be observed in normal full-term babies. When the infant is held so that the feet are flat on the surface, the infant will lift one foot after another in a stepping motion. This reflex usually disappears 2 months after birth and reappears toward the end of the first year as learned voluntary behavior. Motor sequence. Physical development is orderly and occurs in predictable sequence. For example, the motor sequence order of new movement for infants involves the following orderly sequence. 1. Head and trunk control. Infant lifts head, watches a moving object by moving the head from side to side, occurs in the first few months after birth. 2. Infant rolls over, turning from the stomach to the back first, then from back to stomach, 4 or 5 months of age. 3. Sit upright in a high chair requires development of strength in the back and neck muscles 4 to 6 months of age. 4. Infant gradually is able to pull self into sitting positions. 5. Crawling occurs soon after the child learns to roll onto the stomach by pulling with the arms and wiggling the stomach. Some infants push with the legs. 6. Itching. Infants must be able to sit without support. From the sitting position, they move their arms and legs, sliding the buttocks across the floor. 7. Creeping. As the arms and legs gain more strength, the infant supports his weight on hands and knees. 8. Stand with help as arms and legs become stronger. 9. Stand while holding onto furniture. 10. Walk with help with better leg strength and coordination. 11. Pull self up in the standing position. 12. Stand alone without any support. 13. Walk alone without any support or help. Changes in physical skills, such as those listed above in the motor sequence, including hopping, running, and writing, fall into two main areas of development. Fine motor, small muscle development refers to use of the small muscles of the fingers and hands for activities such as grasping objects, holding, cutting, drawing, botany, or writing. Early hand movements in infants are reflex movements. By 3 to 4 months, infants are still unable to grasp objects because they close their hands reflexively too early or too late, having no control over this movement. By 2 years of age, the child shows a preference for one hand. However, hand dominance can occur much later at around 4 years of age. By the age of 4, children have developed considerable mastery of a variety of grips so that they can wrap their fingers around their pencil. The manual control is also involved in fine motor development, which enables a child to use both hands to perform a task, such as holding a paper and cutting with scissors and catching a large ball. 3. Vision. At birth, an infant's vision is blurry. The infant appears to focus in a center visual field during the first few weeks after birth. Infants' near vision is better developed than their far vision. As infants grow older, they are more interested in certain parts of the face. At 1 month of age, their gaze is on the hairline of a parent or other caregiver. By 2 months of age, infants show more interest in the eyes of a face. At 3 months of age, the infant seems very interested in the facial expression of adults. These changes in the infant's interest in facial parts indicate that children give thought to certain areas of the face that interest them. 4. Hearing. Hearing also develops early in life and even before birth. Infants from birth will turn their heads toward a source or direction of sound and are startled by loud noises. The startle reaction is usually crying. Newborns also are soothed to sleep by rhythmic sounds such as a lullaby or heartbeat. Infants will look around to locate or explore sources of sounds such as a doorbell. They also show reaction to a human voice while ignoring other competing sounds. A newborn can distinguish between the mother's and father's voices and the voice of a stranger by 3 weeks old. Perception. To explore their world, young children use their senses touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing in an attempt to learn about the world. They also think with their senses and movement. They form perceptions from their sensory activities. Sensory perceptual development is the information that is collected through the senses the ideas that are formed about an object or relationship as a result of what the child learns through the senses. When experiences are repeated, they form a set of perceptions. This leads the child to form concept formation. For example, a child will see a black dog with 4 legs and a tail, and later see a black cat with 4 legs and a tail and call it a dog. The child will continue to identify the cat as a dog until the child is given additional information and feedback to help him learn the difference between a dog and a cat. Concepts help children to group their experiences and make sense out of the world. Giving young children a variety of experiences helps them form more concepts. Study Section 8 Summary. At the end of this study session, you have learned that 1. Developmental change is a basic fact of human existence, and each person is developmentally unique. Although there are universally accepted assumptions or principles of human development, no two children are alike. Children differ in physical, cognitive, social, and emotional growth patterns. They also differ in the ways they interact with and respond to their environment, as well as play, affection, and other factors. 2. Baby's action and reaction changes over time due to learning and experiences, which influences it in reflexes, motor sequence, vision, hearing, perception. This is the end of study section 8. Thanks for listening.